Hey guys, and welcome to the Family Fudge. Today I have 4 really tasty lunch ideas to share with you. These lunch ideas were sent to me by some of my awesome subscribers. I think it is super interesting to see all the different things people enjoy for lunch. So if you're looking for some fun lunch ideas, stay tuned. First up is a lunch idea sent in by Savannah Grace from Louisiana. And for her lunch today, she requested I use the Family Box and lots of pastel colors. My first step for Savannah Grace's lunch is to put together the main course. Now for this, Savannah Grace requested Hawaiian rolls. So I thought instead of using the traditional square-shaped Hawaiian rolls, I thought it would be pretty interesting to use these ones. Now I know you guys, these totally look like hot dog buns, but trust me when I tell you that these taste almost identical to the traditional Hawaiian roll. Now to go with this Hawaiian roll, Savannah Grace requested some pulled pork. Now I actually used my crock pot to cook this pork until it was nice and tender. And then I went ahead and added plenty of Savannah Grace's favorite barbecue sauce, which just happens to be the Sweet Baby Ray brand. Now you guys, I would love to know if you have a favorite barbecue sauce. So now I went ahead and filled up the roll with that delicious pulled pork, and since there's already plenty of barbecue sauce on there, this guy is good to go. I actually have quite a lot of things I still want to add to Savannah Grace's lunch, so I'm going to go ahead and use some of these silicone liners to divide the large section of the lunchbox. These silicone liners really are a perfect way to separate foods within the box. In the first section, I'm going to go ahead and add some chunks of mango. And then to go along with the mango, Savannah Grace also requested either pomegranates or plums. Now I decided to go with the pomegranates, of course. These are definitely in season right now. And check it out, you guys. I really think these look like little jewels. Now all of my older kids actually really like pomegranates, but if you eat these, be careful. They do have a tendency to stain. So as you can see, this lunchbox is getting double the fruit and it's also getting double the veggies. In one of these sections, I'm adding some sugar snap peas, and in the other section, I'm going to add some broccoli florets. Now that I've gotten all of that broccoli to fit in there, I'm going to go ahead and add a small container of ranch dressing. Now for her snack today, Savannah Grace requested some rice cakes. But as you can see, a full-sized rice cake definitely would not fit in this lunchbox right now. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and add some of these mini rice cakes. These really do taste just like the big ones, but I do think they're a little bit crunchier. And now that brings us to Savannah Grace's sweet treat. And she requested either chewy ginger candy or coffee M&Ms. Now as you can see, I decided to go with the coffee M&Ms because for some reason I couldn't find any ginger candy at the grocery store. So now I'm going to go ahead and fill up this section with the M&Ms. And then to complete Savannah Grace's lunch, I'm going to add in some water. Now because I'm already making lunches for my kids during the week, I'm usually making these subscriber lunches on the weekend. And that also means that all of my kids get to try some. And in today's video, they're going to let you know what they thought of it. Okay guys, I've got Mackenzie and Lily with me today. And me. And Griffin too. And they're going to tell us what they thought of these lunches.
I was like dummy. My favorite part was the pulled pork sandwich. And my favorite was the mangoes.
Okay guys, next up, I'm going to be making a lunch idea sent in by Catherine. Catherine is from Georgia, and for her lunch today, I'm going to be using a lot of yellow accessories. And I'm also going to be using the Family Box because Catherine requested a hot lunch. So for this lunch, I'm going to start by cooking up some cheese ravioli. Now the awesome thing about these raviolis is that they cook super fast. Once your water is boiling, all you have to do is dump them in, and they generally only take about 3 to 4 minutes for them to be completely ready. And usually you'll know when they're ready when they start to float to the top of the water. To go along with the ravioli, Catherine also requested some meatballs. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop these in the microwave. They're already pre-cooked, so I really just have to warm them through. Before I add the ravioli and the meatballs into the lunchbox, I'm going to mix everything with a good amount of basil pesto. Now this basil pesto from Costco is definitely a staple in our house. I buy it all the time. It is super delicious and it really makes throwing together a pasta dish super quick and easy. So now I'm going to fill the thermos section of the lunchbox with as many raviolis and meatballs as I can, and then I can move on to the fruit. For Catherine's lunch today, she requested a combination of strawberries, cherries, blueberries, and grapes. But as you guys can probably see here, I wasn't able to find cherries. I guess they're just not in season right now. But I was able to find the other 3 fruit, and I think these are going to be an awesome combination. I'm just going to go ahead and chop up the strawberries. I'll get them into the lunchbox, followed by the green grapes, and then lastly the blueberries. Now you guys probably already know that I love adding food picks just about everywhere I can, and I especially like to add them into the fruit. And then since I know that Catherine likes yellow, I'm going to add in the yellow food pick. So in this front section I have all of the fruit, and in the back section I'm going to add 2 different veggies. First I'm adding a few pieces of broccoli, followed by some really ginormous baby carrots. And then, to go along with the veggies, Catherine did not request ranch. Instead, she requested blue cheese dressing. So I just added a little bit to this separate container, and this container is going to fit perfectly right in here. So now moving on to Catherine's snack. First, I'm going to add a little container of guacamole, and this is actually a spicy guacamole because I know that's what Catherine likes. And to go along with the guacamole, I'm also adding in some tortilla chips. And you know, anytime I'm adding tortilla chips to a lunchbox, I really like to use these bite-sized tortilla chips. They are so cute and little, and of course because they're small, they just fit so much better into the space. You don't have to worry about all of your chips being crushed before lunchtime. So now, as you can see, I've kind of run out of space in this lunchbox. I'm just gonna go ahead and add Catherine's sweet treat to a separate container. So this cute little container is made by Rubbermaid. It comes with a little bowl, a lid, and it also comes with a separate tray. So for this sweet treat, I'm going to start by adding some vanilla Greek yogurt right into the big section of this container. I'm going to top this yogurt with a handful of chopped strawberries. Doesn't that sound delicious? And then in the separate tray, Catherine requested some crushed up Oreos. So the idea is to actually pour the Oreos in with the yogurt and the strawberries and eat it just like that. And then the very last thing I'm adding into Catherine's lunch is some good old 2% milk. Okay girls, what was your favorite part of this lunch?
My favorite part was the chips and guacamole.
Yeah, what about you, Lily?
The meatballs.
The meatballs. What about you, Griffin?
I didn't like a vegetable. I only like gummies. You wouldn't have said gummies, silly.
That's a different lunch, silly. This next lunch idea was sent in by Avery. Avery is from Washington, and for her lunch today, she requested a superhero theme. And I don't know about you guys, but when I think of my favorite superheroes, I definitely think of the Avengers. So for Avery's lunch, I'm going to start by preparing the main course first. And for this, I'm going to need some mini bagels. So for her sandwich today, Avery requested these bagels, of course. They really are a lot smaller than a regular sized bagel, but that actually makes them perfect for putting into a lunchbox. Now to Avery's bagels, I'm also going to be adding in a layer of cream cheese on both pieces, of course. And now once I have all of my cream cheese spread out, I'm also going to be adding 2 slices of turkey. And this is just good old smoked turkey deli meat. Now I can go ahead and close that up and our main course is done. For her veggie today, she requested carrots, so I went ahead and cut these into little carrot coins. To go along with the carrot coins, I also added a container of ranch. Now for Avery's fruit, she requested mango. And this time, instead of using pre-diced mango, I'm gonna go ahead and cut my own. But I am gonna make it a little bit easier for myself by using my handy dandy mango slicer. Now I actually found this at Walmart. I am a huge fan of all different kinds of kitchen gadgets, and this one actually does a really good job. You do kind of have to push pretty hard to get it to work though. Next, I'm going to very carefully cut into my mango, and that's going to make it a lot easier to scoop it out and have it already be in chunks. Requested a sprinkling of tahini powder. Now I know I've mentioned this in videos before, but tahini powder is like chili powder and lime flavoring. I know a lot of people like to eat this on watermelon, mango, and things like that. For her snack today, Avery requested goldfish crackers, so I'm adding a scoop right into here. And then also for the snack, I'm adding in a few pieces of celery. And to go along with the celery, I'm also adding a small container of peanut butter. This will be perfect to actually dip the celery in. And then for her sweet treat, she requested a chocolate dipped banana. So I thought it would be perfect to add one of these frozen banana babies. If you've never tried these before, they are so good. They taste a lot like the frozen bananas that you might find at a theme park. And even though these aren't ice cream, they really do taste like ice cream. And finally, for Avery's drink today, she requested chocolate milk. So there you have it, guys. There's everything in Avery's lunch. Now let's see what the kids think about it. Okay, girls, what do you think about this one?
I like the mango and the sandwich.
And Kenzie?
I like the celery sticks and the peanut butter and the sandwich. I didn't know what I liked.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe you didn't have it. And now that brings us to Kennedy's lunch. Kennedy is 23 years old and she's from Wisconsin. Kennedy's requested a fish theme. And for Kennedy's main course, I'm going to be making a fish-shaped fish sandwich. Say that one 5 times fast. Now you guys, I have to be honest with you, I don't make tuna fish sandwiches all that often. Not all of my kids are fans. So usually when I make it, I just put tuna and mayonnaise and call it good. But for Kennedy's lunch, I want to fancy this tuna up a little bit. So first I'm going to go ahead and add all of the tuna from this pouch. This is dolphin safe tuna and it's packed in just a little bit of water, not oil. Now I'm going to need to make some room here because I have a few things I want to chop up to add into the tuna salad. So first I'm going to go ahead and chop up some celery. But I actually want really fine, small pieces of celery in this. That way you're not biting down on like a huge chunk or anything. Now, I actually saw the Pioneer woman cut her celery like this and I thought it was a really good idea. You actually cut down long ways, just like this. Then I can go back in the opposite direction and cut really small pieces. So now in goes the celery, and then I'm going to do pretty much the same thing with some fresh onion, but not too much onion, just a small piece. And again, I'm trying to get little tiny pieces of onion here, about the same size as the pieces of celery. And then the last thing I'm chopping up, just a few little baby dill pickles. So now that all of the chopping is done, I'm going to season this with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I'm going to add in some mayonnaise, just a little bit at a time until it's about the right consistency. I don't want this tuna to be dry, but I also don't want it to be swimming in mayo. Now to build this sandwich, I'm going to start with 2 pieces of white bread, and then before I fill the sandwich with tuna, I'm actually going to cut out the shapes. That way I can save the crusts of the bread and I don't have to worry that they're going to have tuna on them. Next, I'm going to very carefully add this gourmet tuna salad to our bread, and then I can close up the sandwich. This is such a cute little fish sandwich. For my next step, I'm going to move on to the fruit. For Kennedy's lunch today, I'm going to be adding in some fresh cantaloupe, but since she's going with a fish theme, she requested melon balls specifically. That way they kind of look like the bubbles you might find in the water. So now that I have the cantaloupe cut open, I do want to go ahead and remove the seeds, and then I can start making the melon balls. Now usually I like to make really big melon balls, but I thought for this lunch it might be interesting to make teeny tiny melon balls instead. So this little melon baller tool is going to be perfect for the job. Now I'd say the trick to making perfect melon balls is to have patience. You kind of have to go slow and you have to very gently twist your little scooper in the cantaloupe. That's how you get those perfect little balls. But check out those melon balls, you guys. I kind of think these look like fish eggs, don't you? Now, as far as the vegetable goes, Kennedy requested wavy carrot sticks. That way, they'd kind of look like wavy sea plants or seaweed. I'm just using my Pampered Chef crinkle cutter tool for this, and I'm going to cut each little baby carrot into quarters. Now, to go along with this fish theme, I'm going to add a few of these little fish food picks right down inside. I'll add those wavy carrots to the back section. And then I almost forgot, I'm going to take just one of my eye picks and I'm going to poke it down inside the fish sandwich, just like that. Now this lunch is looking pretty good, but of course we're still missing the snack and the treat. So I'm gonna go ahead and divide this back section using 2 silicone liners. In this first little section, I'm going to add a scoop of goldfish crackers. Those seem to be very popular this week. And of course, since these ones are fish shaped, they totally go with today's theme. And then for this special treat, Kennedy requested shark shaped fruit snacks. Now, I've only ever seen these little fruit snacks at Aldi, and interestingly enough, these fruit snacks are actually a mixture of sharks and dinosaurs. So now that I have their fruit snacks in there, the very last thing that Kennedy requested for her lunch is water. Fresh water, of course, to go along with the fish-themed lunch. Okay, what'd you think of the fish lunch?
That one was good.
You didn't even know you were eating tuna, did you?
No.
So you're a fan?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think, Lily? Tuna, yes or no?
Bleh.
No. Well, what was your favorite part?
Gummies.
Gummies?
I'm the only kid who likes fish.
That's good.
My favorite was the gummies. We'll see you next week.
For next week's episode of Subscriber Lunch Sunday, I'm looking for Christmas lunch ideas. So if you have a Christmas lunch idea you'd like to send to me, I'm going to go ahead and have a link in the description box below. That way you can easily send your idea. And if your idea gets chosen, it'll be in next week's video. Now, I want to give a big thank you to all of you who have sent in your lunch ideas. I've literally gotten thousands and thousands of lunch requests, and it's my goal to make as many of them as I can. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.